Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are reacting to 10 reasons you shouldn't mess with NATO. That's right, with NATO. I figured it's quite a fitting video with all the nonsense that's going on, especially pretty local to me at the moment. Like I've said in a couple videos, we're only 2 and a bit hours away from the Ukrainian border, so I figured I may as well get a nice comfy night's sleep knowing that we are part of NATO. So let's see why you shouldn't mess with NATO. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well hit the like button as well. And without further ado, let's get into Want to Fight NATO? 10 reasons why you shouldn't. What the heck? Hold on. Look how they go in. Those planes are just so
For 7 decades,
awesome
the NATO
looking.
alliance has practiced collective defense and deterrence against evolving international threats. And over the years, its capabilities have changed accordingly. NATO's most powerful weapon, according to Jim Townsend with the Center for a New American Security, is the unity of the alliance. But the individual allies also possess
the
hard-hitting
B2, isn't it?
capabilities that could be called upon were it to face high-level aggression.
flippin' egg.
Here are some highlights of the many powerful weapons NATO could bring to bear against Russia.
They're not holding back with what they'll bring against Russia. Jesus Christ. Oh, I tell you, it is a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it, with all this stuff that's going on. I can't say it hasn't played on my mind at all, especially, like I say, being so close. I've got 2 small children. I'm not so much worried about myself. I'm worried about them and their future and everything. But yeah, it's good to know that some of these mean machines are on my side. Not only my side, but your side and everyone else's side. Whoever's part of NATO anyway.
NATO could bring to bear against Russia.
Flippin' heck. That's scary.
F35 Lightning II.
Ooh, that is
The air side of
beautiful.
the NATO equation is led by the United States with the F-35 and other various aircraft. The 5th generation
looks
F-35
amazing.
Joint Strike Fighter is an aircraft that rival powers have been unable to match its stealth and advanced suite of powerful sensors. While some NATO countries are looking at the F-35 as a leap in combat capability, others continue to rely on the F-16, an older supersonic fighter that can dogfight and also bomb ground targets. And then some countries like Germany are considering European alternatives. Eurofighter Typhoons. The Eurofighter Typhoon is a capable multi-role aircraft designed by a handful of
They just look so mean, don't they? Like they mean business, those things.
NATO countries, namely the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, and Spain, determined to field an elite air superiority fighter. France, which walked away from the Eurofighter project, independently built a similar fighter known as the Dassault Rafale. Observers argue that the Typhoon is comparable to late-generation Russian flanker variants such as the Su-35. While each aircraft has its advantages, be it the agility of the Typhoon or the low-speed handling of the flanker, the 2 aircraft are quite similar, suggesting, as the National Interest explained, that the Eurofighter could hold its own in a dogfight with the deadly Russian fighter.
The maneuverability of them is insane.
Bombers.
Bombers.
The U.S. provides conventional and nuclear deterrence capabilities throughout the regular rotation of bomber aircraft into the European area of
That
operation.
thing is huge.
American bombers have been routinely rotating into the area since Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, according to military.com. That year, the Pentagon sent 2 B-2 Spirit bombers and 3 B-52s to Europe for training.
Oh, that's an interesting looking one. I haven't seen that B-50. Is it B-52?
2 B-2 Spirit bombers and 3 B-52s to Europe for
Flippin'
training.
heck.
The B1B Lancers are also among the U.S. bombers that regularly operate alongside NATO allies. P-8A Poseidon. There's also the maritime posture, particularly
I couldn't think, like out of all the military divisions and stuff, the submarines scare me because, imagine it's like an underwater tomb if you think about it. I don't know. They just freak me out, man. It's all that tunnels and like caves and small spaces like that submarine, and you're stuck. It's not like you can just get out. I suppose the same goes for a plane if you really think about it. You can't just get out while miles up in the air. But oh, I don't know. It's something weird and freaky about submarines.
There's also the maritime posture.
And look at the size of them.
Russia continues to rely on a submarine nuclear deterrent. We need a stronger presence. That's why we're seeing Norway, the US, UK do more with the P-8As. Heather Conley, the Center for Strategic and International Studies expert. Facing emerging threats in the undersea domain, where the margins to victory are said to be razor thin, NATO allies are increasingly boosting their ability to hunt and track enemy submarines from above and below the water. While there are a number of options available for this task, the U.S. Navy P-8A Poseidon patrol plane, which was brought in to replace the U.S. military's older P-3 Orions, are among the best submarine hunters out there.
Submarines,
frigates.
Man.
Another effective anti-submarine capability is that provided by the various frigates operated by a number of NATO countries. The NATO allies, in particular Italy, France, and Spain, all have frigates that have very capable anti-submarine warfare systems. Brian Clark, the Center
I always thought
Strategic
frigate was in South Africa. It's like well, even in the UK, but in South Africa we use a lot like friginelle or frigate. So I thought that was like a swear word. Well, maybe it is, but
submarine warfare systems. Brian Clark, the Center for Strategic and Budgetary Assessments. They have active low-frequency sonars that are variable depth sonars. They can find submarines easily, and they're very good against diesel submarines. These forces could be used to target Russian submarines in the Eastern Mediterranean and into the Black Sea.
So creepy.
Norway and Denmark also have really good frigates, he explained. They can go out and do anti-submarine warfare in the North Sea/Baltic Sea area, and they're very good at that.
They're very good at that.
Nimitz-class aircraft.
It looks like a city. A city on the water. Look at it. There's people hustling and bustling about doing their business. I know it's not, but I mean, it is like, it has to be like a little community there, doesn't it? Like people living together and working together.
Carriers.
It looks so awesome, but I don't think I'd be up for it.
Exercise,
keep me on the land.
War games designed to simulate a large-scale conflict with Russia was the USS Harry S.
That thing is
Truman,
massive.
a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, and its accompanying strike group. The carrier brought 6,000 service members and a large carrier air wing of FA-18 Super Hornets to Norway. 1,000 service members and a large Nimitz-class aircraft carrier and its accompanying strike group. The carrier brought 6,000 service members and a large carrier air wing of FA-18 Super Hornets to Norway for the largest drill in years. One thing the NATO naval partners have been looking at is using carriers as part of the initial response, said Brian Clark. The United States sails carriers into the North Atlantic to demonstrate to Russia that the U.S. can send carriers into this area, from which it could carry out operations into the Baltics without too much trouble, he added. America's ability to project power throughout the deployment of aircraft carriers is unmatched, due mainly to the massive size, sophistication, and training regimen of its carrier fleet. The UK and France also have aircraft carriers. Virginia-class submarines. Virginia-class submarines, nuclear-powered fast attack boats, are among the deadliest submarines in the world. They're armed with torpedoes to sink enemy submarines and surface combatants, and they can also target enemy bases and missile batteries ashore with Tomahawk cruise missiles.
What? It shoots
enemy bases and missile batteries ashore.
I had no idea that submarines could shoot or fire missiles out of the water. I thought they were purely for... Holy smokes.
These submarines could be really useful.
Makes them even more scary.
Attacks against some of the Russian air defense systems in the Western Military District that reach over the Baltic countries, said Brian Clark.
Humans are masters of creating things to just obliterate other humans, aren't they? It's so like, yeah, we can make that. It'll absolutely blow them to pieces. They won't even know it's coming. Yep, sounds good.
Air operations above
humans,
these countries without being threatened by these air defense systems. So you would want to use cruise missiles to attack them from submarines at sea.
Oh, it's well blurry.
Patriot surface-to-air missile system. Patriot, which stands for Phased Array Tracking Radar to Intercept on Target, is an effective surface-to-air guided air and missile defense system that's currently used around the world, including in a number of NATO countries. There is a need for an integrated air and missile defense picture, said Conley. That's certainly a high-valued protection for the alliance.
Speed of them.
NATO is also in the process of fielding Aegis A-shore sites, land-based variants of the sea-based Aegis ballistic missile defense system.
I like the way they've blurred all the computers on there, like, because that's pretty smart. Because like I would personally be wanting to see what's on them, and I don't know. Like, I'm so clueless as to what any of that would mean, but I'd still want to see it. Imagine someone with a bit of grey matter between their ears, unlike me. They'll know what's going on.
Ballistic targets over Europe. AH-64 Apache
that
gunship.
thing looks beast.
The Apache gunship,
oh my god,
capable of close air support, has the ability to rain down devastation on an approaching armor column.
Oh, I think I've seen videos on these. Sorry for keep interrupting. I think I've seen videos on these where they were firing in. Are these the ones that you see? There's like black and white or night vision footage of them in Afghanistan and that, and they're blowing shit up. Oh, excuse my language, blowing stuff up there. I think I've seen these.
Rain down devastation on an approaching armor column. The attack helicopters can carry up to 16 Hellfire missiles at a time, with each missile possessing the ability to cripple an enemy.
That thing looks amazing.
Unit. The Hellfire is expected to eventually be replaced with the more capable Joint Air-to-Ground missile. The Cold War-era Apache attack helicopters have been playing a role in the counterinsurgency fight in the Middle East, but the gunships could still hit hard in a high-end conflict.
Yeah, I think that thing looks amazing. I wouldn't want that thing hovering above me or near me.
Leopard 2 tank. The Leopard 2 main battle tank, which gained a reputation for being indestructible, is a formidable weapon first built to blunt the spearhead of a Soviet armor thrust, and one that would probably be on the front lines were the NATO alliance and Russia to come to blows. While this tank, a key component of NATO's armored forces, took an unexpected beating in the fight against the Islamic State in Syria, it's still considered one of the alliance's top tanks, on par with the U.S. M1 Abrams and the British Challenger 2. Observers suspect that the Leopard 2, like its U.S. and British counterparts, would be easily able to destroy most Russian tanks, as these tanks are likely to get the jump on a Russian tank in a shootout.
It's so freaky how much power there is out there. And this is only what they're showing us. Imagine the stuff we don't know about. That's what you got to worry more about, I think. Well, I've said it before in one of my other military videos. Let's please hope and pray that none of this stuff has to be used for what it's designed for. Let's just hope it's kept as a backup. I really don't want this stuff to kick off, and I'm sure a lot of you don't want it to kick off, but if it does, I'm glad to know that I'm in a NATO country because holy smokes, they've got some firepower behind them, haven't they? Anyway guys, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well hit the like button as well. I'm going to go upstairs and have a nice hot cup of tea because I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a cold. I felt like this for a couple days now. Sore throat, bit tired, but I don't know if it's hay, it might be hay fever, who knows. Anyway, have a great day guys, have an awesome weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.